This is my recap UFC 322 Islam Makhachev versus JDM. Honestly, I'm disappointed in this card. The co-main and main event really crapped on the card, bro. This card had the hype and it was living up to the potential of being one of the greatest cards of all time. But yeah, co-main and main event, boring grappling fest. I did pick Islam to win. Am I happy? For what? But we'll talk about it. Michael Morales, amazing knockout, dude. Pratz's amazing knockout. Denise kills Dariush. Bo Nichols lit up the card, started lighting up the card with a crazy third round KO, bro. Head kick KO, bro. I was like, what the heck? Bo Nichols looked so good in this fight, and I've trashed Bo Nichols a bunch of times. But I know it's up against Rodolfo Vieira. We're gonna talk about it, later on. But this card didn't start off good, and yeah, didn't end good either. So we're gonna talk about this one. JDM versus Islam Makhachev, folks. I picked Islam Makhachev to win. I said he would win if he just out-grappled JDM, and it happened. And I said it was gonna be like Khamzat Chimaev versus DDP. But I do think he's gonna win this fight, and the reason why I think he's gonna win this fight is because it's gonna be, his world on the ground. First of all, this could be the greatest UFC fight we've ever seen. This could go 5 rounds, crazy war, just like Bilal Muhammad, but Islam Makhachev isn't Bilal Muhammad, and he's smart enough and he's strong enough. And I'm not going to go and say, oh yeah, Islam Makhachev is going to be stronger than JDM in this fight. Islam Makhachev is moving up a weight class. If he does look stronger than JDM in this fight and takes him down multiple times and ragdolls him, insane. Didn't see that coming. Now, I'm picking Islam to win this fight, but I would love to see, JDM get the knockout and, these inbreds lose. But I think this one, is Makhachev's for the taking. I think he's going to win this fight. But I could see this fight being like Khamzat Chimaev versus DDP if Islam Makhachev just lays on top and doesn't want to, do anything or some sort of movement where JDM moves and, he takes this on top. That could probably happen in the later rounds if, Islam Makhachev just can't handle JDM on the feet, but he can take him on the ground. Maybe he finds the submission in later rounds.
And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
It was a little bit better than that because Islam Makhachev at one point did have JDM in kind of a submission, but he didn't really put the squeeze. JDM just could not get up, man. He couldn't get up, and when he did, it would be in like the last 10 seconds of the round, and he would make a mistake or something, and Islam would get right back on top. Islam Makhachev looked strong. He looked good in this fight. He just was on half guard the entire time, and it wasn't exciting. That's what it was at the end of the day. I wanted JDM to win by knockout. I knew it was the only way he would win, but that's why I picked Islam Makhachev because, his grappling is just elite like that, and JDM's never seen something like that before. And Islam Makhachev is the GOAT now. I think he's the GOAT. Double champ status. His resume solidifies it, I think. And I've talked so much crap about Islam Makhachev in the past. I'm not a glazer, but he is the GOAT. Like look what he's doing to these guys, bro. At the end of the day, the question is, how do you beat this style of fighting? Who beats this guy? How do you beat the Dagestani inbred Caucasus guys? How do you beat them? I don't know at the end of the day, but Islam Makhachev is the GOAT, and this fight was boring. I picked him to win, but yeah, let's keep going because there's really not much to talk about this fight. Oh, Ilia Topuria. I knew I was missing something. If Ilia Topuria were ever to fight Islam Makhachev, it can never be at welterweight. It would have to be at 155 or somewhere near the middle because he's just too strong. And mind you, I've glazed Ilia Topuria saying, oh, at 155 he would knock out Islam Makhachev, this and that. anything higher than 155, Islam Makhachev is just gonna out-grapple Ilia Topuria. He's just too strong. And JDM's weakness is his grappling as well. Like, honestly, we have to talk about that. He looked bad out there. He looked really bad. His grappling wasn't elite. We knew that was a weakness, and that's why I picked Islam. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about this fight because it was boring, and there's other fights to talk about. So yeah, Valentina Shevchenko versus Weili Zhang. I picked Weili Zhang. She doesn't get it done. She's too small, honestly. At the end of the day, she was just too small. Valentina Shevchenko was on top of her as well. Boring. She outstriked her on the feet, though. Bunch of kicks. Bunch of body kicks, dude. Granny, she made it boring, but she got it done at the end of the day. She doesn't care. Honestly, when is this Gulf gonna retire? Because like she's just making this division boring, and this, I know the women's divisions are all boring, but this is like the only exciting one we can get. Zhang goes back down. She doesn't stay at flyweight. She's just too small. She goes back down to strawweight and probably beats Mackenzie Dern. But Valentina Shevchenko, we need her to retire, bro, so we can make this division at least exciting. But yeah, this is another boring fight that I really don't want to talk about. There's nothing to say. There really is nothing to say. Let's get to Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. Honestly, what an amazing knockout. I knew I picked Michael Morales because I was like, bro, if you got tagged on the feet like that by Bilal Muhammad, ain't no way you go make it past this teenage mutant ninja turtle, whatever this man is, this lanky, strong creature. Bro, he's really big for the welterweight division. We talk about, oh man, how does Alex Pereira make it at light heavyweight or middleweight? How did he ever make it at middleweight? Dude, how is this guy even making it at welterweight, dude? This guy is insanely huge for the division. Pause. But he goes out there, and I don't like how he's swinging on the feet like that. I feel like against Prates would actually catch him and probably knock him out. But I'm pretty sure he knows Brady has nothing on the feet with him, and he was swinging crazy, and he was going to get the knockout. He eventually did, and Brady, yeah, he has nothing for Morales. I thought Brady would try and actually be a little bit more, relentless with the takedowns. I thought he would try and go for more of them, but he was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to try and outstrike Morales on the feet. And yeah, that just didn't end well. But Morales, he looked so good out there. Brady, if he won, he would have been next for the belt. I don't know what's next for him. For Morales, put him with Prates. I don't want to say put him with Prates because you're killing two contenders right now. And now Islam Makhachev has won his BJDM, and there's not really that many grapplers in this division. You're gonna put him against Usman. I really don't like that because Usman is 1-3 in his last couple fights. So you have Morales who's hot, you have Prates who's hot. Brady just lost, and he was the only real grappler there. You have Ian Gary. I think if Ian Gary beats Bilal Muhammad, he's next for the belt. There we go. There, we move on. Prates versus Edwards. Bro, Carlos Prates went out there and ended Leon Edwards. I'm not going to lie to you. Edwards in the first round, he got Carlos Prates' back, and he was hitting him with some goofy ass shots, and there was a meme right there. It was doy, and yeah, it was funny. Second round, Prates just lands this straight right on Edwards' chin or face or whatever, and Edwards is just knocked out. He's there gritting a smile. Prates is just insane. Another specimen for this welterweight division, dude. He's long, lanky, and he has so much power, dude. He reminds me of Alex Pereira, dude, the way he's knocking these dudes out. Because Edwards flew across that cage, bro. He was flying, bro, when Prates touched him. But yeah, I think Edwards is done, dude. They're out on my shorts channel. Go follow my shorts channel. I was fighting with some dude that he was there saying that, oh, Leon Edwards is done. He would actually beat somebody in the top 10. I'm like, bro, What do you mean Leon Edwards would beat somebody in the top 10? The new regime of Prates, Gary, Michael Morales. I don't want to say Buckley because I think between the new regime he would actually lose, but he's part of the new regime, I guess. Those guys would beat these old heads like Leon Edwards and Usman, dude, and it's happening. It's happening. The new regime is coming up. You have Islam now. You have JDM. When Rakhmonov gets back, I hope he's back to like him being the beast that he was before. If not, that would be sad. But dude, the welterweight division is insane. I'm gonna make a video about the welterweight division, but great performance by Prates, killing Edwards, dude. We move on. Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint Denis. I picked Benoit Saint Denis. He knocks out Beneil Dariush. Dariush is just too chinny, man. He was just too chinny, and it literally took only 3 strikes, bro. He just like two uppercuts and an overhand, and Dariush was out on like flat. He flat out, just almost died, I guess. But yeah, great win by Benoit Saint Denis. Rogan is just dumb. Rogan is dumb. He was like, oh, I saw you motion for the bell. Are you calling out the champ? I'm like, what are you doing? Or he was like, oh, I know there's like some guys in the divisions that, that are looking for the belt. Who are you looking for? And then Benoit Saint Denis was like, I'm looking for anybody who wants to fight me in the division or whatever. But yeah, great win by Benoit Saint Denis, honestly. But let's move on. Last good fight we're probably going to talk about right here, or good performance. Bo Nickal versus Rodolfo Vieira. I did not see this coming. I picked Bo Nickal to win, and he went out there and almost murdered Rodolfo Vieira in the 3rd round. But he was having a great performance in the first 2 rounds. He was just outstriking Vieira on the feet. He caught him with some nasty elbow. Bo Nickal had an amazing performance. He had that head kick that knocked out Vieira. I know Vieira is not a combat athlete. If you want to grapple with him, that's when he's like, hey, okay, I'm happy. But yeah, he's gonna get cut after this, dude. There's no way he gets another fight. Bo Nickal knocked him out in the 3rd round with the head kick. Bo Nickal looked good in this fight. And then in the mic, he was like, hey, it's either you love me or you hate me, guys. But stop freaking doing this, man. And it was funny. I think Bo Nickal next fight should be against Shermagomedov. I think he would out-grapple Shermagomedov, and if he wants to keep this on the feet, it'd be a fun fight. But yeah, good win by Bo Nickal. We move on. Kopylov versus Rodriguez. Not a super exciting fight, but at least on my part, because Rodriguez was killing Kopylov in the first 2 rounds, bro. Kopylov wasn't doing anything, bro. Kopylov just doesn't do anything, and Rodriguez was there killing him in the first 2 rounds, and then in the last round, Kopylov finally he wanted to do something, and the judges gave him the 3rd round, but it was too late after that, dude. Rodriguez did pretty good in this fight. I thought he was gonna finish Kopylov, but he didn't. Kopylov is just not that exciting, and he just doesn't know what he's doing out there. I don't know what the UFC is gonna do with Kopylov, but great win by Rodriguez, honestly. We move on. There's not much to talk about here. Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. At the end of the day, just look at how Tracy Cortez looks. Who would you bang at the end of the day? Tracy Cortez, right? That means the other person's gonna win. Tracy Cortez, it was a great submission. It was a great submission win by Erin Blanchfield, because she went and she got the lock under Tracy Cortez's ass, and that shit is big. So Cortez couldn't get out of it, and yeah. Erin Blanchfield gets the back, and she kind of has her like on a choke like this, and Cortez taps. Great win by Blanchfield. First round was really weird. She just wanted to strike with her, and I was like, yo, just take Cortez down. You got this, bro. I think you're gonna win this, and she did. I picked Erin Blanchfield to win, and Cortez. Hopefully, the OnlyFans is coming sooner. That's all I can say. No disrespect though, but This one is I can't wait to talk about this one because I was here like, bro. Wallmaker had the hype, you know. I thought, you know, this guy's coming in on 2 days notice. I'm like, Wallmaker's gonna get the knockout, bro, and he gets. It was a fraud check, folks. I think you have to call it a little bit of a fraud check. I know Wallmaker's young. I think he was just overhyped. I think that's what it is. I think he was just overhyped as a prospect, you know, Moutinho, and then the other guys that they were feeding him. But he should have beat this guy. He should have knocked him up. But Ethan Irwin just went out there. Irwin went out there and just he looked better on the feet. That's what it was. He looked better on the feet. He had way better shots than Wallmaker, and he was tagging Wallmaker on the feet for all 3 rounds, dude. And Wallmaker just, you know, take this loss on the chin, man, and just get in the gym and get better. I think if I don't know how it would have been if it went to the ground, but Wallmaker, I think he would have had to gone to the ground in this fight because Ethan Irwin looked really good, man. He looked really good in this fight, and he didn't get a performance bonus, but hopefully the UFC paid him good or they gave him a contract. We move on. GM3 versus Kyle Dawkins. I think GM3 is just done. Kyle Dawkins, he knocks out GM3 super easily. It was a submission. He knocks down GM3, and then he submits him on the ground. GM3's just done, bro. I don't even know why he's fighting. Dawkins made it look easy. Yeah, we move on. It wasn't exciting though. That wasn't exciting. I thought this was gonna be a fight of the night. I thought Mariscal was gonna put up a better war, but Sabatini, man, he is a human backpack. The moment this guy gets your back, it is over. This guy gets your back, it is over, and it happened in this fight. Took down Mariscal multiple times. Mariscal, I thought he was gonna get out of them, but he couldn't. Great job by Pat Sabatini, bro. Pat Sabatini, man, I forgot he fought Diego Lopez, man. I think obviously between these two, Pat Sabatini would have a way better performance than Mariscal against Diego Lopez, but great job by Pat Sabatini, honestly. I didn't see that coming, him becoming a human backpacking this guy like that, but whatever. Angela Hill needs to retire. This is a fact. Fatima Klein, La Ferocia, whatever, she goes out there, she does her thing. Outstrikes Angela Hill. Angela Hill needs to just retire, please. Like, Klein was just mixing it up. She looked good in this fight, but Angela Hill, you're like the Neo Magni of the women's division, but you need to retire. You're just a little too old, and I think these young girls are giving you a hard time right now. And I think you should just call it in your next fight. But great win by Fatima Klein. Susikayev. Susikayev, he's a little sus right now. Let's be honest. In the first round, McConaughey had this guy up in the cage, and Susikayev was there. They were both getting gassed. I had it 1-1. I know that a lot of people are high on Susikayev, but I'm not. I think this guy with a better striker would get frog checked. He just got lucky in that 3rd round that McConaughey, he got that knockout against McConaughey, dude. He got it. Crazy knockout, but I think Susikayev is sus against a better opponent. He is getting wrecked. I don't know, bro. I just he just looks sus out there, dude. He gets gassed. He gets overpowered sometimes. He's a little sus, but I picked him to win and he won. Let's see who they match him up with, and Camilo gets it done against Borshev. I don't know if this is going to load up, but I really don't care. Camilo just gets it done. I think Borshev... I think they cut Borshev, honestly. I think they cut Borshev, but yeah, that was the end of this. This card wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be. I thought Islam would at least submit JDM. but he didn't. I thought at least Zhang would knock out Valentina Shevchenko, but it didn't happen. If that would have happened, this would have been one of the best cards of UFC of all time, like greatest card of all time type shit. But yeah, finally this thing loads after loading for that minute. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm JNeps MMA. Like and subscribe. I think these guys definitely deserve the performance bonus. They got the knockout. They made the fights exciting. But yeah, Islam Makhachev go. Valentina Shevchenko go to the women's division. I'm JNeps MMA. Like and subscribe. I'm out.